In Kansas, we have a very concerning piece of legislation which may force doctors to report miscarriages to the state health department. This is going through the Kansas legislature, and it would mandate reporting for any miscarriage at all, at any stage in pregnancy, to the state health department. And this is, I think that without me going any further, the audience, which at this point has become increasingly aware of how anything that seems to somehow relate to pregnancy has a connection to abortion. And you would be absolutely right to carry that cynicism with you, because as the critics of this are making very clear, this was a bill initially that was dealing only with stillbirth certificates, okay, and the filing of stillbirth certificates. And there were amendments made which threw in this stuff about mandatory reporting of all miscarriages, etc. And it is just step one in moving in the direction of making it more difficult to have a legal and safe abortion. That's always the impetus when it comes to legislating this stuff, particularly when it is the opportunistic insertion of amendments to a bill that didn't have anything to do with that. And it's not surprising at all that this is the way that this is going. We have a group of lawmakers in Kansas who try to do this at every turn, whether it comes to gay marriage, whether it comes to sex education, whether it comes to creationism and evolution being taught in schools. So taking that opportunity, and it just absolutely makes no sense. The reporting of every miscarriage to the state health department, miscarriages, 15% of pregnancies, of early pregnancies in the first 13 weeks can end in miscarriages. And now we have a situation where what's next? If you have your period, you should really report that as a possible miscarriage to the state health department, because you don't know, Lewis, that egg, it may have been fertilized.
It blows my mind that there are people who get elected and they're from their first day in office till their last day in office, their number one goal is something like this, are bills like this. This is their agenda, with seemingly no concern for any of the financial woes of their state or education or anything like that.
Yeah, create a job, do something, get somebody hired somewhere. I'm actually beginning to believe that there are some men and women who have no idea at all how the reproductive system functions. And while they're passing these laws, maybe they should make some kind of mandatory requirement where the legislature gets some kind of crash course on basic anatomy and reproduction. And then as I was thinking of this, I said, oh, if they did that, the entire class would probably be never have sex until you're married and everything will be just fine, at which point you start having as many kids as possible.
So we need to send them to Massachusetts for their sex ed class, is what you're saying.
Apparently so. We had actually pretty good sex education classes, didn't we?
They told us everything, David. Everything.
Yeah, there's no question about that. Okay, let's take a break. Coming up next, I will talk to you about demonic possession. And, well, I'll just leave it there. It's yet another story about demonic possession. And we'll also talk about the controversy over the new Cosmos series.